Hello, everyone. My name is Raiga Sakata, and today I'm here with Stix. Introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Stix. I am a YouTuber and a streamer covering Gacha and MMO content. I love Gacha games. They're my lifeblood at this juncture. Favorite games are Nikke, Wuthering Waves, Arc Knights. Favorite MMOs, World of Warcraft. I'm a professional gamer and also a professional smack talker. So great combination there, especially when it comes to competitive games.
Yeah, the person that makes people shut up, stop talking. Why are you doing this? Um,
Yeah, that makes you leave voice chat. Yeah, and turn it off.
yeah, I've been there. But yeah, the reason I wanted to do this is it was actually the reason I found you was because of your Ananta trailer reactions. Um,
Oh yeah.
and I wanted to discuss that, like what our expectations, how it's gonna go, all that, and what better than to address the stupid controversy where they're like, it's gonna get sued.
I mean, I mean, every game has a chance has the potential to be sued for something, right? Some kind of trademark infringement. I don't think Ananta's really going to. They have the whole Venom swing thing from Marvel Rivals. They have a lot of inspiration they've taken from games like Sifu, Watch Dogs, right? But I mean, they're that's something that's been done many times before. Genshin did it with Breath of the Wild. Wuwa's done it with like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta. Like, come on, let's be real. These companies, they let it slide because it's inspiration, not copying, right?
Yeah,
They take inspiration from the game and then they kind of implement it and adapt it in their own way. So it's not a direct one-to-one copy necessarily. So I don't think they're gonna get sued. I don't think they're gonna have any issues at all.
yeah, it's like it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It's not like all like one to one. It's just like mishmash. And as I usually point out, Sony themselves is promoting it. Like, come on.
Yep.
Um, and another thing is that I made the mistake at first, but people are still calling it a gotcha game when it's been confirmed there are no gotcha elements at all for the most part. So,
That depends how you define gacha. Because some people define gacha as having gacha characters,
uh,
but games like I don't know if you played Fantasy Star Online 2 or the original Blue Protocol that released in Japan, but they both had gacha cosmetics and gacha mounts. So that,
oh,
by extension made them gacha games, and
ah,
people often refer to them as gacha MMOs. So I spoke to one of the Chinese developers of Ananta because we were flown out to TGS for multiple different game showcases sponsored for it, and I got to, or a friend of mine, Ryuku Sensei, and I were both there, and we asked whether there was going to be any form of gacha monetization present in game, and beyond if there were, what kind of monetization were they aiming for? And they said they were going for paid cosmetics, paid skins, vehicle skins, and stuff. And then specifically regarding gacha cosmetics or gacha anything, they've said there is not going to be gacha. There will never be gacha weapons, never be gacha characters, but there's not gacha something purchasable. So, they were very vague, very coy in revealing anything, but they definitely confirmed that there might be something that they monetize through gacha. But that doesn't necessarily make it a gacha game. It just might have gacha. What is likely to be the case is just like gacha limited time cosmetics or something. So it kind of, I don't know, like motivates you to roll for the gacha.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if that's the case, I don't mind because in that case, you can easily ignore the gotcha, like if you don't want to do it. Because
For sure.
if you're in there for the story and characters, which from what they're floating, each character might have a unique story, which is kind of crazy.
Hmm.
And it's apparently still in early development, according to one of the workers on it. And it's like this is early development.
Yeah. Yeah, there were multiple of us that were flown out there. We were there with Riku Sensei, Gotcha Smack, Braxophone, Genizad, Rexcellent, and we all asked a ton of questions. We asked how far through the development process it was. They actually gave us a clear, definitive number that kind of surprised some of us. Um, we're not allowed to disclose anything like
That
that they didn't disclose themselves or give us permission
that's
to.
fair.
But I will say that when we asked them about like the characters, how they plan on implementing them and everything, they did state that their goal was to create characters that were meaningful to the game rather than, like a single patch, like in games like Wuwa or Genshin or
Yeah.
Zenless or something. And because they wanted, or they've stated they wanted the characters to kind of be like relevant long term, because they wanted you to play different characters rather than, like, they wanted them to be kind of akin to GTA 5, where you'd play, one character and then you'd transition to another character and they'd be doing their own thing. They have their own job, they have their own life. So that's why you only saw the male main character, because the female main characters, what I'm assuming here, is going to be a separate character rather than just like
A
a
swap.
female
Yeah.
variant of the, yeah. So I'm assuming there are going to be like multiple different main characters, and you're not going to play just whoever the main guy is. And they stated that the characters are going to have separate stories that are specific to them that are going to intersect eventually. So you could be playing like Taffy, and you could be playing her story for 3 4 hours, and then you meet up with the main guy who you haven't even been playing, and then you go play his story, and then that intersects with her story too, and then another character that also is conjoined into that larger story. So it's a really cool way of handling things.
That's actually really interesting because I've been craving a kind of game that's very freedom esque like that. Because I do like the Rockstar games. I like Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft
Mhm.
Auto, but I also like Skyrim, where you can just do your own thing. Um, and I think this game, by drawing from so many different games, has the potential to essentially be what's it called, newbie friendly. Like anyone can play it.
Yeah, definitely could be. Yeah, great introduction for players that aren't typically like well versed in either GTA games or Gacha games, because there are still going to be very likely to be Gacha, elements, whether they just be the multiple different characters, how the stories
Yeah.
are implemented, or if they have Gacha cosmetics or whatever else. So it could be a very, very easy way of introducing potential players into many different genres.
Yeah. Now I want to talk about the development aside. Like when it comes out, like what what do you think the impact will be on the gaming sphere? Like I know a lot of people are like saying it's going to be huge, but like if I'm going with realistic expectations, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be great. But given the reception to the trailers, I think a lot of people, because they don't have happiness in them, are going to try to uh, do whatever they do when a new AAA game comes out. Basically, try to ruin the fun for everyone else.
Yeah, no, that's definitely going to happen. There are going to be groups of people that try to attack it, that try to discredit the company, that try to inhibit any kind of growth or success that the game might have. People did that with Genshin when it first came out. People did that with Wuwa when Wuwa came out. People are doing it with Ananta. They're doing it with NTE. They're doing it with Arknight's Enfield, Azure Premilia. I mean, this is it's tribalism in its most primitive form. And honestly, like, there are people that think it's gonna be a monolithic success, and it's gonna be like the next coming of Genshin Impact. But I think it's gonna be really big. I played it. I played several hours of it at TGS,
Yeah.
and it was a ton of fun. It was much slower. I think it's actually slower paced to combat than most people realize. Now that is subject to change,
Yeah.
over the development process, but it was a lot slower than people probably realize. It was a lot. It was way more casual, I think, than most people realize, and so that it was just like you could just go anywhere and do anything at any time, and things were always happening. There were always stores to enter. There were always, like, you could attack NPCs, so there were always NPCs to engage with, or arrest, or rob, or what the hell ever. So I mean, it just like, people have I think, a misconception of what the game is going to be, but when it releases, I think it's going to really, really take both the gacha genre, the urban genre GTA subgenre to a whole other level. Like, is it going to be, like 100 million players playing at the same time? No, but at the
Yeah,
same, like, it
maybe
is
launch
going
day,
to.
but
Yeah, exactly. Launch day might have a ton of people playing for sure, but I definitely think it's going to be like it's going to set a cultural shift, especially for gacha and maybe even for anime games in general.
oh, for sure. Because what I think is that people are looking in the wrong direction. I don't think Ananta is trying to compete with Genshin because it's an entirely different beast. In fact, Hoyo competes with Genshin themselves more than other games, with Honkai Star Rail and Zenless, which both get more love than Genshin half the time. And as a Genshin fan, that irks me. It's like, come on, I know you have the talent, Hoyo. Please, Genshin was a game that put you on the map. Come on.
Yep. But I mean, they put their resources into other games while letting their current games kind of just taper off a little bit in terms of quality. But it seems to be working for them.
Yeah.
So
Because some people are like, I do like the smoothness of the character animations in Ananta, and I believe the term you were looking for before was immersive, like the casualness and the just able to get into it. It because in Zenless it's like Devil May Cry. You're going fast paced. You're slashing everything. This is it definitely can get that dopamine going, but like in a different way. Think less Devil May Cry, and I think it's more like Yakuza or like where there's battles, but it's more about the story.
yeah, it is going to be very story focused. They did state that it's going to be very narrative heavy game, and yeah, it is going to be very immersive as well in a lot of different ways. Again, like in ways that people don't even expect. Because like, dude, you can attack NPCs, you could arrest people, you could spy on people, you can go on dates with characters. There are cat cafes where you can pet cats while drinking a cup of tea. You can have a job. Like every character is going to have their own job. There are so many things. You can play basketball, go to the gym, swim. Like, bruh.
Pet Cats Game of the Year, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no, Mrs. Stix, who was there with me at TGS, she was the first person to find the cat cafe because we were there early, day one.
Yeah.
She made a tweet that got like hundreds of thousands of views, and everyone was just like, "Oh my god, that's a feature!" So much yes.
Yeah. I own cats, so I'm into that. But yeah, like what I'm happy about is that they're not rushing the development of the game. Like, because they went silent for a long ass time and then they released all this footage. And I know why they did that. People are like, why they release it so early? Investors.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, 100%.
I think that's why they did it. And as much as it irks me to say this because I'm really excited for this game, I don't think we'll see it until late 2026.
Yeah, that could be. That very much could be the case. I'm not allowed to talk about date specifics
Yeah.
due to my sponsored obligations with them,
Yeah.
but it could definitely be 2026 or 2027. It's anyone's guess. But it is definitely very polished for the state that it's in, though.
Oh, that's a lot of heart and soul. Because a lot of times, like for example, Insomniac Games Wolverine, we all saw the leaks. And we saw how shit it was. But then, like, the finished product was so much better.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like early, and it's like, oh, you already put so much love into it. It's changed so many times. I remember the first ever trailer where the comment was basically Genshin.
Yeah, just faster. That was pretty much it.
And I'm glad they redesigned the MC because he looks a little more unique and he has more expressions now. Before he kind of just looked like what was his name, Calum from Honkai Star Rail.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could see that.
And like, I don't get me wrong, I love Honkai Star Rail, but that's like turn-based is a whole different beast. And I logged on to Honkai Star Rail for the first time in like a year. I got a free archer from Fate because I'm a Fate nerd, and then I logged off.
Oh, same here. Same here.
Because I'm like, I gotta get him.
I know. Yeah, that's the same with me. Like Archer from Fate Stay Night was definitely a pull for me. And then there was the free Dante in Punishing Grey Raven. Like these are games you kind of just log into for the free character, and you're like, one day if I ever play it, at least the
Yeah,
character's there.
yeah. Like I can go back to Honkai Star. Ooh, Archer. Yeah. So
Yep.
I didn't get into Punching Gray Raven. I should at some point because I do like Wuwa a lot. But yeah, I need to play Wuwa again.
Wait. Hold up.
What?
You enjoy Wuwa and Genshin Impact? Is that possible? Everything I've seen online tells me it's not.
They're fun in different ways. Wuwa is where you want you want to stab shit and have fun counter, and like the character and the movement is so much better. But I will give Genshin one thing: I like running around in that world more.
Hey, you know what? I completely agree with you. There are various different aspects of both games that are better than the other, and I think people just for whatever reason the tribalistic nature of different communities just prevents them from accepting or realizing that. I think it's going to be very much the case though with Ananta too, because Ananta is going to be much better than Wuwa and Genshin in several different aspects, specifically
Yeah,
like world traversal, character depth,
yeah.
stories. But then people are still going to look at it and be like, nah, Genshin better, nah, Wuwa better, bro, no.
Speaking of traversal, if I'm correct from the videos I saw, I know that MC is the only one who has the Spider-Man ability,
Yep.
but I think anyone can run up walls.
Yeah. So in NTE, I don't know if you played NTE, Never Diss
No,
Forever Diss,
nope.
but the wall running is actually locked, gated behind the little pink-haired girl, Nanalie.
Yeah,
So she's the only one that can wall run.
yeah,
And she is like a 5-star or 6-star whatever character, like the max rarity unit. Um, in Ananta, every character can run up walls.
yeah.
Taffy, the little white-haired bunny girl, her mallet, she can actually transform into a motorcycle or like a scooter,
Yeah.
actually. And then she could start driving that around and then just swap, like, convert it back.
That's great. Um. Oh. Technical difficulties, everybody. He exploded. Um. I'll edit this out. Definitely. I don't know what happened. Oops. I'm just gonna keep talking. I don't know if this is. He looks like he's back. Um. Oh no. Uh. Whoops. Um. You there? Give him a minute.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. For some
No.
reason, my Discord decided to crash randomly as I was talking about Taffy riding a scooter.
I'm debating whether I edit that out or leave it in just for the funnies.
Hey, you could do either or. I could just continue from where I left off if you want me to, or you could, we could just continue from here.
We'll just continue from here. You weren't gone long enough, so it's like, whatever.
I was gone for like 20 seconds. I opened
Yeah.
my phone. I'm like, no, please don't tell me my internet died again. But nope, it just decided to crash my Discord for whatever reason.
Oh, great, fantastic. Yeah, that's not bad enough. It's not like your internet just died. So
No, but going back to the
Yeah.
traversal in NTE as an example, I think it's the wall running is very unpolished because you'd hit obstacles and then your character wouldn't be able to like vault over them. They just kind of hit it with their head and then fall. In Ananta, you actually, like in Wuwa, your character vaults over them. Yeah,
I love that so much in Wuwa. When I first did that, I was like, this is the best ever.
I know, right? It's like, dude, why doesn't every game let you do that? Like a small little difference in terrain, and suddenly it's an immovable object. Like you can't actually progress beyond it. Like it's an inanimate, a wall that is just like impenetrable. You know?
And Wuwa really, the one thing I do like about Wuwa, well, there's many things, but one of the big things I like over Genshin is that outside of combat, running does not take stamina.
No, it doesn't. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Like, why is stamina a freaking thing in games?
Apparently, Ananta, they were like, stamina? What's stamina?
Yeah, yeah. Flying around the city though, like Venom from Marvel Rivals is so much fun.
Yeah.
It's everything, like all the animations and movements are very fluid.
Yeah, and that's why I find it funny. They're like, oh, it's Spider-Man. They got that from Insomnia. No, NetEase also developed Marvel Rivals.
Yep. Yep. You can immediately tell. I've played a lot of Marvel Rivals. I have like 200 hours in Rivals. It is very much so Venom.
Yeah. I play that game a lot. Too much actually. But aside from that, like, I think yes, the web swing could be polished just a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
Again, it's early access, not even early access. I call it beta. Just about a beta. But I do like how everyone seems to have their own unique things that makes them unique. And I don't know if it, because when you see in the trailer they switch characters, you see all the grayed out characters that you could possibly play as. I assume they may add more characters to that roster because there's like empty spaces. So that's what I'm excited about. But I think it has a lot of potential because I know when this game comes out, I'm gonna save up for a new PC because it would destroy my current one. Or I'll get a PS5, either one. But
yeah, that's an option.
when it comes out, it's I already know, regardless of what happens, it's gonna be like when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, where I'll play for like 8 hours and forget reality exists. Like,
yeah. No, I get you. I get you. I feel the same way, man. Yeah, I'm a no life that shit forever until I get bored with it.
Yeah. See, that's my problem. When I love a game, I play it and play it and play it, and then I get bored, and then I don't touch it for like 8 months.
Yeah, like with Wuwa, I log in for the story patches to roll for the new character, and I'm like, okay, I had fun.
I almost did that with Zenless today, and then I said, no, you don't play it. Don't get on there. I had to control myself. I did that for Genshin. Like, I haven't played Genshin seriously in like 2 years. Yeah, I have Farina, Nouvelette. I have those characters. Like, I didn't intend to have them, but I have them.
Hey, gacha addictions, man.
You're right. Because, like, even in Zenless, I have Yuzuha, and I don't play that game.
Yeah. No, there are a lot of gacha games that I log into on occasion just to get a character, and I'm like, dude, why am I even doing this? Like, like for real, I haven't played this game in 2 years. Like, I did that in Path to Nowhere recently. There was a new character that came out in Path to Nowhere, Reverse 1999 with the Assassin's Creed collab. I went in, I got Ezio, and I'm like, dude, I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't even play Reverse 99 anymore. Like, it's been forever since I actually played it. But he's there now for whenever I try it again or whenever I go back.
I'm done now. Bye. But
pretty much.
Yeah, that's why I know that Anata is one that I'll play at least frequently, and like maybe not constantly after the first 2 weeks. But because of the non-character gacha system, I'll probably go back just for the gameplay. Just to run around and have some fun. Because I do that. GTA, I do that.
Yeah, I mean, no other gacha game lets you do what Ananta's going to let you do right now, so...
Yeah, like...
I mean, that right there is reason enough to play.
I know I'm going to have a lot of fun with Taffy. She's the one I'm most excited about, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Because of the motorcycle. That's so fun.
Yep.
But I do like how they have different roles. Like, you can be the police girl who can arrest people.
Yep.
And one thing, like, if I'm going to be like... Because I know people are like, why are you constantly praising it? I am, but I do have criticisms. Like, I think the ragdolls can be improved. Because in that chase scene, they kind of looked very wonky. They flew up in the air and just... I'm like, okay, I get it. but I do think the gun physics could be increased just a little bit.
I mean, yeah, when I was doing the intro, you the firing of the gun when you were trying to shoot
Yeah.
the little gasoline canisters in the car or the tires and stuff, because they for the sponsored creators, they had specific members of the team like designated to each content creator. So there were like two dudes to each of my sides, like, okay, Mark, you need to hold your right trigger. Okay, now you need to move it to the left. Okay, now aim for the tire. No, not that tire, the other tire. The tire to the left. And I'm like, I am trying. Give me a break. Like, hold on. I've been in this game for 4 seconds, bro. Hold on. And I'm like trying to shoot it, and they're like, okay, now what we need to do is we need you to aim up. And I'm like, no, I want to shoot the guy. And they're like, no, don't shoot the guy. Don't shoot the guy. Shoot the canister, the gasoline canister that's in the left vehicle right now. Do it. And I'm like, no, there's a dude hanging out the window. I want to see if I can headshot him. And they're like, no, shoot the canister. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I try to shoot the canister, and the car starts moving a little bit. And I'm like, yo, these controls are terrible. Well, not terrible.
Yeah.
They need to work on the sensitivity a
Yeah.
lot, or give you the option to at least increase or decrease it, because
Yeah.
that was a nightmare trying to like do what as they were instructing you.
Yeah. Because I know in games, especially open world games, like I've just gotten to Black Desert Online. And what I do is the story's like, go this way. I'm like, I'm going the other way. I always try to do the opposite of what they're trying to tell me. That's just my instinct. And
Yep.
I've broken games. I've gotten soft locked doing that, but because I can't help myself. Like one of my biggest inspirations is Let's Game It Out, who breaks all the games.
Okay.
So I always try to do stuff like that. But yeah, I can imagine their words, their Navi-esque Link tutorial, going against your instincts. You're like, I want to see what happens if I shoot this.
Just let me shoot shit, man.
Yeah.
Like there are so many people just dangling out like wacky inflatable arm
Yeah.
tube guys that are just like, shoot me. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like, let me.
I did hear criticisms, and I don't know, like you played it. Do you think the enemy AI should be turned up?
So the majority of the fights that we were actually given access to were scripted, and since they were scripted, like it didn't really, I think, showcase exactly how difficult the fights could be.
Yeah.
I guess the very little we got to see out around the world were, typical NPC AI behavior, where they're just like staring at you menacingly, and then you walk over and you throw like a bike at them, and they fall over, and then they start walking around you in a circle with their arms, like their fists raised, acting like they're gonna punch you. And then for 10 seconds, you guys are just staring like into each other's eyes longingly. And then you walk over and you like punch them, kick them, and they fall over, and then they might throw a hit here or there. So yeah, NPC trash monsters you'd find out in the world in Genshin or Wuwa or any of those games. Very like a 2 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. They definitely need to amp those up a little bit.
That is something that it's funny, because a lot of the people raising that criticism are Genshin fans. But as someone who's played Genshin, after playing Wuwa and their bosses, in Genshin, I just stand still most of the time and just step slightly to the left. I'm like, you guys are slow.
That is how I felt when I played Genshin. I would turn my brain off and just be like, okay, this is easy. Not easy as in bad, but easy as in I can just chill. I can be watching an anime on my other screen. I can be chatting with people or editing a video and just tab back in occasionally, or like hit a button on the controller or something. Easy. You could do this shit on mobile.
Yeah.
Right? It's not difficult, but you try to do Wuwa's difficult bosses on mobile, like
no.
Yeah, you have fun with that. That is not a game you play on mobile.
Yeah, because with Genshin, I'm even more brain off, because a mainstay at my team is Zhongli, and I put up his barrier and I just stand there.
That's one way of doing it.
But I heard Ananta is being developed for PC and console, and the mobile is going to be the port.
Yeah, that's what we're told too.
which is good. I don't want it to be upscale for mobile. That's bad. And I don't know, like, I think they're gonna have to change some things for mobile because there ain't no way any phone going to play this.
Nope, not at all. And you know what? That's okay because
Yeah,
the only thing I use my phone for with WoWa or Genshin is to log in, claim your, the like
yeah,
90 Asterite or Lunite or whatever you
yeah,
get in whatever game, and
yeah.
then you close out of it.
The one thing I like about WoA in Koro games in general is that whenever their game has issues or they have maintenance, they give you much better rewards.
For the
Like,
most part, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they compensate you well.
Um, and because like in Genshin, they're like, okay, our game was down for 3 days. Here, 300. It's like, that's one wish.
Yet, there will be people that defend those 300 Asterite. Like, thank you, Hoyo. We deeply and greatly appreciate what you have given us. It's like, bro, play any other freaking gacha game, and you will see just how much people get compensated for an hour of downtime. Like,
Yeah. Like I played the horse game Uma Musume.
oh yeah.
And new players got 17,000 of the currency. I was like, okay. And they basically give you 10 free pulls every time they have maintenance. So yeah, it's come on. Um Disappointed.
I hear you.
But one thing I'm looking forward to is what I hope is back if you like you're old enough probably to remember the console wars of 2005.
Oof, way to call me out.
I'm old too. I'm 31. So
I'm older.
fair enough. But I remember those days, and the one good thing it came from that is that it caused game companies to compete with each other and make better and better games. So what I hope Ananta does is make gacha companies compete with each other and just improve and give us a bunch of amazing games.
Well, if you think about it, gacha tribalism, is predominantly a terrible thing.
Yeah.
But there's one positive that came from it, and that is that the communities are at each studio's throat to the point where each studio is now forced to innovate to try and stay ahead of the other studio. So,
Yeah.
like Genshin implemented, or Hoyo implemented things in Genshin and Star Rail that they'd never implemented before WuWa released. It'd been gone on for years of people asking, and then they're like, "We're introducing this into the game," as a direct consequence of WuWa's success. And then when other companies do things with games, Kudo tries implementing it in WuWa.
Yeah.
So ways of staying ahead, like when they introduced a flight into the game and they didn't have it gated behind a character, like at that point, the whole Genshin could never thing
Yeah.
was never more real or valid.
Oh, in the second
Right?
continent, right, where you could just get whoosh. Like,
Yeah.
and I know that the devs over at NTE are sweating right now, and they're like, okay, we need to give something Ananta can't. And I honestly think they do because when you think about it, there are people who genuinely like character gacha, and people who like the more similar gacha feel. So that's basically their Ananta. They're going to play NTA regardless. While other people who don't like the character gacha are going to go to Ananta.
I do agree. Unfortunately, though,
Mhm.
Ananta feels and looks just so much higher, like more polished and higher quality. Um, that people are going to look at Ananta and be like, I'd rather just wait. It's like, do
Yeah.
you know where winds meet?
I've seen you tweet about it. I haven't really looked into it.
Okay,
But
so it's one of the most beautiful, like visually stunning, fluid, fast-paced action wuxia games on the immediate horizon for years to come.
yeah.
Absolutely blows every other game of its kind out of the water.
Yeah.
Sword of Justice is another wuxia game, also being made by the same studio, NetEase.
Yeah.
and different subsidiaries, different companies
Yeah.
under NetEase, but both still by NetEase,
Yeah.
and they're both wuxia games,
Yeah.
action combat with that have like largely multiplayer settings.
Yeah.
But Sword of Justice is just so inferior
Yeah.
that people are looking at Where Winds Meet, and they're looking at Sword of Justice, and they're like, you could see this, you just Google it or check Reddit or check social
Yeah.
media. They're like, why would I play that when I could just wait for Where Winds Meet?
Yeah,
So
NetEase is like, we're putting all our money into Ananta.
yeah, at that point they're like, we'll just pour everything into Ananta. That's what everyone's gonna play
Yeah.
anyway. So
What I like about Ananta, like, is the character designs, because a lot of, after Genshin, for good reason, a lot of games did the Genshin like design where everyone looks like Genshin characters, but
Yeah.
Ananta is different. Like, they have there, it's more genuinely anime style. Yeah, there's some Genshin influence, like one literally looks like Ganyu, but it
yeah.
it does have like more unique, and I do. One thing I really enjoy is that the main character is voiced. I like that so much.
Yep. I agree. That's one thing I liked in Wuwa too, with the Rover, and also
Yeah.
in Zenless,
Yeah.
how the two main characters are also voiced.
Yeah, I think
And
that might be what happens. Even though you can name the main character in Ananta, I think the main and female character might kind of be similar to Bell and Wise, where they're two different, like you said.
yep.
So that would be interesting. And one thing I do hope happens is that if they're separate, you don't have to choose just one. You can play them both.
That's my hope. That's my hope, that they have separate stories, but are both, interesting characters that are fleshed out, and maybe even have their own combat
Yeah.
styles, their own unique kits. So we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, that's definitely something. Like, if I have to say like one thing about the main character, who I just call Chen Chu because that's the name he had in the trailer.
Okay.
So it makes it easier to call him that. But I do think, like, a lot of people are like, his personality is like Spider-Man. I actually disagree. I think it's his personality is similar to Nathan Drake from Uncharted. Basically, I understood that from the Uncharted reference they had in the main opening. But he's a snarky, but he's not Spider-Man snarky, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So it has that, he has that more down to earth, where he honestly just seems like a guy who gets into trouble all the time.
I'm hoping though that if they do kind of take more of a Nathan Drake-ish approach, they have him be as charming
Yeah.
as Nathan Drake was, because that dude could charm the pants off of anyone, dude.
Yeah. I remember when Uncharted 4 came out, and that was one of the most visually stunning games I ever played.
For sure.
And I genuinely did, like, some people said it was like a step down, but I love that story. It was great.
Some people are idiots, but I mean,
Because my when it comes to games, my opinion is this: will I have fun? Yes, that's all that matters.
Yep, exactly. Which is why at the end of the day, you play the gacha games you want to play, right? If it looks good, you play it. Who the hell cares?
Yeah, because like a lot of people, like for Black Desert, a lot of people are like, it's too grindy. I'm like, okay, I grew up with MMOs. I know grindy. Okay, I'm a masochist. But if it looks fun, I'm gonna play it. So that's it's like, oh, the graphics are good or this isn't good. I'm like, I don't care.
Yep.
And
very true.
That's like, yeah, I will have my criticisms. I'm not like blindly loving it. Like, if something bothers me, I'll talk about it. But that's also why I'm not heavily, like, I have my problems with Anata, but I know it's in development. So, like, and for a game that's in development, it gives me hope, because a lot of companies do not have this much at this point. So,
Yep. That's very true.
Now I said this was going to be an hour, but like, I don't we've pretty much covered all the topics. So one last thing I want to talk about is since you played the games and obviously you can talk about the shit that was shown in your video, um,
Yep.
what was your favorite part of traversing the open world?
So I don't know if you watched the TGS 2025 recap on the Ananta channel, which showed their booth and like some of the different creators and stuff that went there and everything. But I was actually showcased for a couple seconds in the video, and they took probably the most real reaction from any content creator at that event. And that is because we were one of the first people there, one of the first content creators to actually play the game in front of people. And I was just walking down the street, right? I was like, I had driven a car, I ran up a wall, I walked into a store because they wanted me to see the clothing feature, because you can apparently every clothing store has different clothes for sale, which I think is a really cool feature. But I just walked out after changing my clothes because they're like, can you get footage, like zoom into her, her personality a little more? Yeah, get some of that. Go out there and try putting another outfit on her. Yeah, there we go. Good. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. I just want to go outside now. And they're like, okay, sure. So I walked outside. And then I saw this old lady walking down the street.
I saw that clip.
Yeah. So I picked up the lid of the manhole, right, with my telekinetic ability, and I threw it at her, and it knocked her over. And at that moment, like, again, that was the most real reaction I had. I almost threw the controller out of my hands while bursting out in a fit of laughter. And my wife, Mrs. Stix, who was there filming, like, she broke as well. And then the guy, our contact that was over to the side, who was handling all the content creators, put his head down because he couldn't stop laughing. Because apparently they'd never seen someone do this. And like the entire team that was there, that was watching, that was ready to help, they couldn't contain themselves because that was the most random act of violence, but that was like completely random, like there was no instigation whatsoever. There was just, you picked up the lid of a manhole, threw it at an old lady, and then I ran over to her, I punched her in the head. She did she flipped, right, landed face down in the dirt. I picked her up, I frisked her, and then I punched her again, and she fell over. So this is a completely random NPC. You can do this to anyone, absolutely anyone. And like at that point, right, I was like, God damn, this is probably the coolest gacha game, or gacha adjacent, or game that's gonna potentially have gacha in some form game that I have ever played. That is the most fun thing that I did because it was the most real, raw reaction that any of us had. And that was the part that they decided to use in their video. So, in the recap. And I appreciated it. I looked hella stupid. But,
damn.
But yeah, it was
that raw gaming moment. Is this possible? It is.
Yeah, dude, because like in NTE you can't hurt the NPCs, right? They're like invulnerable, and that was a criticism that a lot of people had. But I was like, dude, I have to. Like, there are certain things I asked people, like, what do y'all want to see? And one of the things were like female main character, gacha, violence. So I was like, I'm gonna mess this old lady up. So,
to end this off, what a lot of people call it anime GTA, but I've always called it anime Saints Row for how goofy it is.
I know. I've also made that comparison. Yeah, that's more akin to something like Saints Row due to how quirky and lighthearted and dumb it is.
Yeah, because I love Saints Row. I played so much of Saints Row 3. Like,
same here.
But it gave me that same vibe where they're just goofy and you're just having fun. I would actually call NTE anime GTA because it's more dark and gritty. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. Again, like, I mean, you played Saints Row.
Yeah.
You know how there's the intro where you're in the airplane and
Yep.
you end up like yeah. So there's that whole sequence of events that's like really reactive, but also fun and stupid, but like not like stupid in a silly kind of way.
Yeah.
A lot of the scripted events are also kind of like that because you're like hitting things, you're like falling over, and like dumb shit happens to you. Things are out of your control, and you just make some stupid ass mistakes. So it's and GTA is very serious. It's hilarious, but it's
Yeah.
very grounded in reality and serious. Where Saints Row, you get a dude. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, in your podcast, but you get like a dude in like a crocodile outfit walking in with a floppy dildo, and then he beats
Yeah.
another dude in the head with it.
Don't worry,
You know?
it doesn't bother me. I watch Moist Critical, so
Okay, there you go. But that is the difference, and you
Yeah.
get dumbass shit like that in
Yeah.
Ananta, which is great.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about all I've had to say. I've enjoyed our conversation a lot. I
I'm
wouldn't
glad.
I wouldn't be opposed to doing this again if a game we're passionate about comes out and we want to talk about it.
For sure. I'm always here and available for anything, even if you want to do a follow-up Ananta video with when more info gets revealed.
Absolutely. So thank you for being part of the RaiCast, and I'm going to see you all guys later. And generic YouTube outro, like, subscribe, comment. See you later.